Cyborgs from the future, Mr. Sensible answers to an alien, a beaver finds his wood, and an update into the fundraiser investigations. Those stories and more today as the plot thickens. Today's show is brought to you by channel members and patrons alike. To contribute to this show, hit that join button or head over to www.patreon.com/theplothole1. That's the number one, not the loneliest number you can ever do. Rack focus. Good afternoon, everyone. Johnny O from the Plot Hole here. Let's get into this week's news. Canadian vanilla farmer Brainy Beaver has finally finished his damned dam. Brainy made the mistake of revealing his better half. If Mrs. Beaver decides to open her own channel, I don't think that Mr. Beaver could recover. All jokes aside, congratulations on the 5,000 subs, Brainy Beaver. For some unknown reason, people seem to enjoy the Beaver butt vanilla. Not to be outdone by larger content creators, YouTube creator Alien X from Alien X Gaming has produced several interviews with prominent and obscure YouTube content creators. Recently, Alien X sat down with Mr. Sensible.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Alien X Gaming here. I got another popular man on the show. This is the interview with Mr. Sensible this time. How you doing today, sir?
Not so bad, thanks. Not so bad at all. You?
Not too bad, not too bad. Every now and then I have better days, but no. but yeah, I got you on. I really do appreciate you doing this and agreeing to doing this because I've watched your content for a bit. I never really got to know you. I don't really even remember really speaking to you prior to talking about interview stuff. But I do appreciate you coming on, and this is going to be basically like all my other interviews where I'm going to go and ask you some questions, not very personal, but it's to get to know you more so than just as a creator, but as a person. Which is
ask your questions, gatekeeper.
All right, sir. Bridge. Oh goodness. All right, so we're going to start off nice and simple. How did you get the name Mr. Sensible as your YouTube name?
Mr. Sensible, yeah. Actually spent quite a long time thinking about that because what I didn't want to do is choose the name that ended up being wrong. I didn't want anything tied to a particular topic. I mean, look at the creators who've moved away, for instance, from Flat Earth to sovereign citizens or whatever, and if it was something tied too greatly to a topic, that could be problematical. And I always remember an actor when I was younger, called Yahoo Serious, which I thought was a fabulous name. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, I'm going to be doing things in a light-hearted manner, a bit of messing around and that sort of thing. So what's the opposite of that? Sensible. And that's where it came from, Mr. Sensible. And it's stuck, and I'm happy with it because it's neutral, and I'm not aware of anyone else who has a name similar, so that helps. Yeah. If you've not seen it, you cannot grasp it until you see it.
I went by there once. Yeah, no, I was tiny. I don't even remember it.
Well, just in case any flat earthers are watching this, I am open to a debate by any and all. Oh, that's another thing. I've just had an offer of a debate from someone, so I'm going to sort that as well. But I really, really want to do more debates. I've enjoyed them when I've done them, but it's hard to find flat earthers who will stand up. The last one who I was organising with was Austin Whitsitt, channel Whitsitt Gets It. And I organised it. He said, yeah, okay. And I was speaking to James Kuntz, I think that's his name, from Modern Day Debates. We sorted out a date, so it was all planned. So I emailed Austin back, yep, he can make this date or this date, this is preferable, which can you do? And I haven't heard back from him.
With many more interviews lined up, I'm sure we'll see more Alien X Gaming in the future.
What's going on, everybody? Alien X Gaming here. Johnny O was allowing me to do a quick little commercial about my channel, which is amazing, and I appreciate that very much. If you guys aren't aware, Alien X Gaming has everything from YouTuber interviews to interviews with the community. I play games, of course, as well, hence the name. Friday nights I do a custom Quiplash game, which is kind of like a trivia type game that we just have a whole bunch of fun with. So if you guys haven't seen that, check that out. Come on, join us. It's free. Otherwise, as far as YouTubers go in interviews, I've had amazing interviews so far. I've got anybody from The Plot Hole himself. I've got Aaron Ra, Team Skeptic, Mr. Sensible, Irish Demon. Tomorrow, actually, I'm premiering Planner Walk, so hopefully you guys can come check that out. It's just a little insight on them, it gets to know the people behind the creation, and it just lets us know who we're supporting, so keep it up. This community has been awesome, and I have plenty more interviews coming up, so stay tuned. Thank you, Johnny.
Flat Earth Slayer SciManDan has taken off on his usual annual holiday and left his channel to some of the lesser-known content creators. With the leader of the anti-science debunking community off tiptoeing through the tulips, it seems that flat earthers have taken advantage of Dan's absence.
Yes, last checkpoint. I am the best tank. Yes, it worked. I'm here. Craig, you have to listen. This is really important. Can you get out of the way, please? Seriously. An old version of you with a half cyborg face just teleported into your living room from the future, and you're worried about a video game. This is a competitive match. My SR's on the line, and great, I'm dead. What do you want? After years of anti-science rhetoric and using the internet to connect all the village idiots, the flat earthers have taken over. It's a mess. The world is practically destroyed. NASA, in a last-ditch attempt to save the world, used the remains of their technology to turn me, you, into a cyborg, and send me back in time to... Why a cyborg? What? I mean, I get the travel back in time thing, save the future, blah blah blah, but why a cyborg? Seems like a waste of resources. Well, you see... No, you're right, that doesn't make much sense at all, does it?
As if we needed more insanity. Seriously, Craig? A cyborg? I mean, we all know that you would happily and greedily volunteer for SciManDan Systems Model 101 upgrades. But to send yourself all old and decrepit back in order to warn yourself of the future? Wouldn't a laser blast to Dubai's yoga studio be more effective? Surely it would be more effective than taking on Flat Earth Institute of Science.
It doesn't seem very
likely.
I don't think so.
I've been in plenty of planes in my life. I've never seen anything like that.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
No, you wouldn't see strips of still images superimposed onto a globe while looking down from a plane. You're absolutely correct.
Alright, so here we've centered ourselves in between the columns.
Okay.
Does that look very far away to you?
Well, not much farther away than...
Adam makes several attempts to be scientific, sure. But his nonsense is so nonsensical that even JM Truth is shaking his head in disbelief. Fight the Flat Earth displays his usual snark and his wit while he deconstructs Adam's just completely uneducated argument about GPS and map creation. We all hope that Dan had a rejuvenating break, but it's time to get back to work. We can't let Craig's vision of the future come to fruition. We'll be right back. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you enjoying the show? Of course you are. Then why haven't you clicked that like button? Go on, click it. Have you subscribed? No? Well, what are you waiting for? Be sure to tickle that bell too, that way you get notified every time a new video comes out. While you're here, check out all the membership options, the merch store, PayPal links, all that is in the description box. Can't afford any of that? That's okay. A simple like, share, and subscribe is all the support I need, and it's greatly appreciated. Remember, if you build it, they will come. In tonight's final story, we get an update on the fundraiser investigations. The ongoing investigations into past fundraisers endorsed and held by Red's rhetoric have produced 2 instances of fraud. The Sean Hufford rent scam and the Iliamoon cancer scam. The unfortunate revelations of these scams brings every other fundraiser into question. I won't comment on the fundraisers that Reds held in order to get equipment. he was pretty transparent with what he wanted to do with those funds. However, the most recent fundraiser for the recently passed Boolenator and his dog Dexter has been on the forefront of everyone who's been investigating these fundraisers. Some question the involvement of Astronomy Live and Vegan Atheist. The heavily redacted receipts did little to satisfy those who are questioning the fundraiser. After looking at the receipts and speaking to a few sources, I had the opportunity to speak directly with Astronomy Live and Vegan Atheist. During the meeting, the three of us went through each and every one of their unredacted receipts in order to verify the information previously provided. Astronomy Live produced vet bills and the bill from the shelter along with receipts from a local pet store. A few odds and ends were purchased for Dexter: food, dog toys, a leash, a dog bed, nothing out of the ordinary. Vegan Atheist also sat down with me and went through every single receipt she produced from gas stations and the hotels that she stayed at in order to get Dexter to his new home. After looking at the gas station locations and the hotel stops, this route seemed to make the most sense. Nothing was out of sorts. In fact, the only thing that I found wrong with the receipts were that Vegan Atheist did not ask for reimbursement for her food. After the deep dive into the receipt, I took my evidence to Team Skeptic for him to peruse in order to double check my math, so to speak. His major objection were the hotel receipts. He stated that the Candlewood Inn and the Holiday Inn receipts looked identical in form. Yet after a quick search, we found out that both hotels were owned and operated by the same parent company. Astronomy Live was also responsible for sending the remaining balances of the fundraiser to Boolenator's parents. He showed me certified mail receipts and canceled checks made out to Boolenator's mother. Astronomy Live also produced evidence of conversations that he held with Boolenator's family. His family was adamant that both Astronomy Live and Vegan Atheist be reimbursed fully for their expenses. They were also perfectly fine, according to the evidence provided. They were both perfectly fine with the way that Vegan Atheist and Astronomy Live were handling the funds for this fundraiser. After extensive examination of these documents, I don't find any foul play or misappropriation of these funds on Astronomy Live or Vegan Atheist's side. That doesn't mean to suggest that the investigation is over. I just don't see any further reason to look at Astronomy Live or Vegan Atheists as culprits or cohorts in any kind of fundraiser fraud or scam. As for the other players, well, that's a different story. The simple fact that Sean Hufford and Ilya Moon had their hands in the cookie jar of this fundraiser is suspect enough. This fundraiser may be 100% on the up and up, and I truly hope that it is. But this is what happens when you don't take proper steps in order to vet your causes. As this story develops, I'll be sure to keep you updated. And that's this week's news. I'm Johnny O from The Plot Hole, and I'll be sure to keep you updated as the plot thickens.